For decades, the practice of nursing was largely viewed as a series of tasks and duties performed in service to a physician's orders. It was a role defined by technical skill and adherence to protocol. But what if nursing were more than that? What if the very foundation of care was not a task, but a relationship?
I believe the answer lies within the human connection. I am Hildegard Peplau.
This is the story of Hildegard Peplau and her theory of interpersonal relationships, a foundational framework that transformed nursing from a custodial practice into a therapeutic, scholarly discipline.
Hildegard Peplau was born in Reading, Pennsylvania in 1909 to a German-American family. Her path to nursing was forged through a deeply personal and formative experience in her childhood. At the age of 9, she witnessed the devastation of the 1918 flu pandemic, which claimed millions of lives worldwide. Her observations went beyond the physical toll. She noted the profound psychological and emotional impact of the illness, even seeing people jumping from the windows in delirium caused by the flu. This powerful experience ignited her desire to become a nurse, a career she began with her nursing degree from the Boston Hospital School of Nursing in 1931. Peplau's professional evolution was profoundly shaped by her military service during World War II. She joined the Army Nurse Corps and was stationed in neuropsychiatric units in England from 1943 to 1945. This period was a pivotal moment for her theoretical development, as it placed her in close proximity to some of the leading minds in mental health, allowing her to collaborate and learn from their work. Her experiences affirm her belief that nurses' role should be focused on the interpersonal relationship with the patient, moving beyond the custodial care that was so prevalent in mental institutions at the time. Following the war, Peplau pursued advanced degrees at Columbia University's Teachers College, where she obtained her master's degree and doctorate while also teaching nursing classes. It was during this time that she completed her seminal work, Interpersonal Relation in Nursing, in 1948. A crucial aspect of her journey was the significant barrier she faced in getting her book published. Customary practice at that time indicated that nurses who published works required a co-authoring physician to validate their scholarship. Peplau refused to conform to this hierarchy and struggled to find a publisher, a challenge that underscored the subordinate position nursing held within medical establishment. Her perseverance in publishing the book on her own was more than a personal triumph. It was an act that helped establish nursing as an independent academic and scholarly discipline. This singular effort laid the groundwork for future nurses to be recognized as autonomous professionals, fundamentally altering the trajectory of the profession itself. This theory is a comprehensive framework that redefines the purpose of nursing. Its central tenet is that the nurse-patient relationship is not merely a component of care, but the very foundation of nursing practice. She conceptualized this relationship as a significant, therapeutic, interpersonal process, a partnership where both nurse and patient are active participants in their own well-being. This approach stands in stark contrast to the traditional biomedical model, which often views patients as passive recipients of treatment. We introduce a critical concept known as psychodynamic nursing. This approach goes far beyond simple communication skills. It involves using the nurse's understanding of human behavior and personal knowledge to help patients identify and resolve their difficulties. This places Peplau's work squarely within a sophisticated psychological framework, a direct result of her academic and military training. For the nurse, this requires a deep level of professional awareness, often referred to as the therapeutic use of self. Peplau believed that nurses must be acutely aware of their own feelings, biases, and needs to avoid limiting a client's choices and to promote the patient's growth without imposing their own values. The focus on the nurse's introspection and professional boundaries was a pioneering idea that is foundational to modern nursing ethics and a crucial tool in preventing issues like compassion fatigue and burnout. The relationship begins in the orientation phase, where the nurse and patient are strangers. The nurse assumes the stranger role, treating the patient with courtesy and without judgment. The goal is to establish trust and define the patient's problem. The patient in this phase has a felt need and conveys it to the nurse.
Hi, I'm Marcos and I'm your nurse for today, and I'll be helping with your pain management and breathing exercises. So, do you have any questions for me?
I'm not so anxious. How long until I feel normal? I can help you.
As trust develops, the relationship enters the identification phase. The patient begins to feel a sense of belonging and feel less helpless. The nurse shifts into the counselor role, helping the patients explore their feelings and understand their current situation. She also uses the teacher role by providing guidance and encouragement to help Marcus reorient his feelings and see his progress.
Well, it's totally fine to feel that way, so let's talk about it. What do you mean by normal again? What does normal again mean?
I just want to walk down the hall without getting so weak. I feel like I'm failing.
The exploitation phase is where the patient takes an active role, making full use of services offered. Here, Anaya consumes the leadership role, guiding Marcos to take maximum responsibility for his own health goals. She also utilizes the technical expert role by demonstrating physical skills and care. The patient's transition from independence to independence is key outcome of this phase.
So, how are we feeling today, ma'am?
I've been using that method before. Can you demonstrate what I'm doing? And what is the next goal for my role?
That's fantastic. So, let's review our technique, but before that, our next goal is to walk as far down the hall, and we can do it together.
The final stage is the resolution phase, which marks the termination of the professional relationship. The patient's needs have been met, and they no longer require the nurse's services. Marcos' newfound sense of security and self-reliance is a testament to the success of the therapeutic relationship.
It's a privilege to be part of your journey. You made an incredible progress.
Thank you, Nurse Martin. You didn't just help my body feel. You helped me feel. I feel ready to go.
In the end, Hildegard Peplow's legacy is not just a theory, it's a challenge. She fought for nursing to be seen not as a subordinate field, but as a profession of intellect and empathy. A therapeutic partnership for the very act of caring empowers both patient and the nurse. She taught us that the most valuable tool in a nurse kit isn't piece of equipment, but the profound human connection built on trust, respect, and mutual growth. Her work elevated nursing from a practice of task to a partnership of purpose. For her invaluable contributions, she was rightfully named a living legend by the American Academy of Nursing in 1996. Her work continues to resonate today, pushing us to ask ourselves what it truly means to heal and to be healed.